German is a notoriously difficult language to pronounce, but it's not really that difficult once you learn a few basic rules. We can't cover them all in a couple of minutes, but let's take a look at a few of the most important. Rule number 1 is that in German, you pronounce everything. There are no silent letters. Even an E on the end of a word is pronounced, as in the word lese, which means harvest or picking. You'll see it in other important words too, like Lage, which is the word for vineyard site, and in the word große, which does not mean icky or disgusting like in English. In German, große is the word for big or great. So when you use those two words together, große Lage, you're talking about a great vineyard site. Große Lage in German is the equivalent of Grand Cru. The second rule is about the vowel combinations EI and IE. All you have to remember is that in these two combinations, you pronounce the second vowel in its long form. So the EI combination is pronounced I, as in the word Feinherb, which means off dry in German. You'll also find it in the vineyard name Moorstein. The IE combination is pronounced E, as in the very important word Riesling. If you put these words together with the words from rule number 1, then you can easily say something cool like, I drank an amazing Große Lage Riesling from the Moorstein vineyard. Rule number 3 is about the famous German umlaut, the two little dots you often see over vowels. This is a little more complicated, but the main thing to remember is that the umlaut modifies the pronunciation of the vowel as if you had glued it together with the letter E. Starting with the umlaut A combination, a great example is the word Spätlese, which means later picking in German, so you'll see it a lot on German wine bottles. The umlaut over the A changes the pronunciation from the short A sound to the long A sound. So to pronounce it correctly, you say Spätlese. Notice that when a word begins with S and is followed by a consonant, it is pronounced sh, like sh. So not spät, but spät, Spätlese. The umlaut O is pronounced somewhere between O and E. You shape your mouth to say O, but say E, so that it comes out something like I. You'll find this in the name Lösnich, which is a small village in the Mosel where Dr. Lozen has a Große Lage vineyard. The vineyard name is Lösnischer Försterlei. It's not an easy sound for us Americans to make, but you don't have to worry about being perfect. I'm not a native German speaker either, so I just do the best that I can. Another difficult one is the umlaut U, which is pronounced somewhere between U and E, like I. This is an important one, though, because it's in the name of one of Dr. Lozen's very best vineyard sites, the Oetziger Wirtsgarten. And that brings us to rule number 4, which is about the letter Z. In German, this is pronounced as a combination of T and S, as in Mozart. It's not Mozart, but Mozart. So as we just heard, the name of that German village is Oetzig, and the name of the famous vineyard there is the Wirtsgarten. To put all that together, you could say, at a bar in Lösnich, I drank an amazing Riesling Spätlese from the Große Lage Oetziger Wirtsgarten. Now that's a real Teutonic tongue twister, eh? The last rule I want to tell you about is the German pronunciation of the double O. This is not pronounced oo like we do it in English, but O, as in Dr. Lozen. So you can see why it's so important to us. It's in our name. To help you remember, we like to say, drink a little Riesling and loosen up with Dr. Lozen.